Hi guys, welcome to Love Stories. So I just want to share some really important information. It's not medical advice, but just something I went through. So if you have been around, especially mainly more on my YouTube channel, although I have shared on TikTok about how I was headed into sepsis, and I say headed into because I had never got treated for it, but found out that I had a chronic tooth infection because I had a 20-year root canal, and when the cap came off, it was all rotten underneath. And it made sense because years prior, God gave me a dream and told me I needed to see the dentist, and I didn't understand. And in the dream, my brain was deteriorating, but I just got done being shipwrecked, but I made it, collected gold, and then I was in a mall, and a bad guy was trying to shoot me. And then God said, go to the dentist. He used a girl to point me to go downstairs, go see a dentist, and my brain was deteriorating. So as I was in my sick bed at the time when the cap came off and all that, my health had been deteriorating. And around that time, when I was trying to put the pieces of the puzzle to my health together to see why is my body swelling? Why do I have sleep apnea? Why am I gaining weight? Why am I swelling? Um, the I okay, I'm trying to say so many things. I was talking to a nurse over the phone, right? And you know how some medical people do not validate what people are saying. And I tried to explain to her, like, I think I'm headed into sepsis. And she said, you would have lost your memory. You wouldn't even know how to cook. You wouldn't know. She was like, let's go through the steps of sepsis. I'm like, I already have. Um, and I'm in nursing school. So, like, these things are just like, I wasn't in nursing school at that time. I had went to nursing school, took a big break, but now I'm back. I wasn't in it when I was on the phone with this nurse, but she went, like, and I didn't tell her I went through all the steps, but I was just thinking, like, I know, like, I have tried to tell her I know, because literally when you go through all the steps of sepsis, I had all of them except one, and I'm like, I didn't want it to get to that point of having a fever, da da da, and I told her, I said, well, I have lost my memory, like, when I'm at a red light, green light, I don't know if red is go or if it means stop. Like, I have to process it. And I said, my memories have been deteriorating. But the reason I'm making this video is because now it's almost been a year. Almost. It'll be a year in about 3 months. I'm getting my memory back, my health. And as I just do daily life, right now, I'm cooking. Let me show you. I'm making homemade meatballs, okay? Homemade meatballs. And I was thinking, like, God, I haven't made this in so long, among other meals that I've been making. Last night I made stroganoff, beef stroganoff. It took me forever to figure it out. And I kept thinking, like, what am I missing? It didn't come out the best. And then before that, I had made something else, and I was like, oh, I haven't made this in a long time. Oh, chili. That was it. Oh my gosh, I used to make chili all the time, and I know it in the back of my head. I know how to make it. I was like, I struggled making the chili. And I just was like, God, I'm finally actually doing this. But so when I was headed into sepsis, when I was sick for 2 years, I was like super, super, super sick, but it kept getting worse. That's how I know I was headed into sepsis and the swelling in my body. But I was eating healthy and doing healthy things. So that's what kept me until that cap came off. And prayer, Jesus, oh, he did it. But as my memory gains, I realized how bad my memory was. For those 2 years where I had lost my memory, where I couldn't play chess with my son because I didn't remember how to. I couldn't do it. I couldn't figure it out. Nothing was clicking. It's like I am doing these things I used to do, but I also can't remember. I'm having a hard time remembering, and it's pretty sad. It's validating, at least what I went through, what I know. But this is what I want to say about sickness and stuff, is if you feel like you've been losing your memory or something, speak up, stand up for yourself, no matter what anybody says, because I could have ended up in a coma. I could have ended up in ICU. Like the stories that I now hear about people who had root canal or dental infections, because you can't see it, you don't know it. I didn't know my tooth was rotting underneath. I had no idea. But ever since it's been taken out, my health got worse quickly just because of all it wasn't healing very well. And the lady who did my tooth, when she was numbing me, she hit a nerve so bad it felt like lightning in my mouth. I'd never had that before. And I have like 5 root canals. So I actually don't mind getting root canals. I actually thought they were relaxing. But this lady really hurt me. So I think, because ever since then, I've had these headaches just in different ways that I never had. So, but I did get worse before I got better, but my body was like, what's going on? What's going on? So I had to detox. And then that's when I started to see results. One day, I was like, after 1 week of detoxing using the Purify kit, I was like driving my kids to school and I was like, oh my gosh, these trees, I can see the trees. They're beautiful. I was like, such clarity. I didn't know how bad I was in a fog. So when people are heading into sepsis, they don't know. It can be like this slow fade into it and then boom. And so one thing I did know too was when I started to get a fever. That was the last thing. After I got my tooth pulled, it was like 2 days later. She did not give me any antibiotics. And in my mind, I kept thinking, shouldn't I have antibiotics? Shouldn't I have antibiotics? Luckily, I actually had some here. Praise God, because that's what helped me get through. Kept going to the ER 3 times in 4 days. I didn't know what was going on. They knew that my teeth, I had just had my tooth pulled, but nobody connected the dots. So with my brain deteriorating and then me going to see the oral surgeon, the ER people, and then primary care doctor, I had to work with them to try to fight and say, hey, what's going on? And luckily my doctor showed me my neutrophils were super high for a long time. He said that does indicate bacterial infection. And then the oral surgeon said, I had to ask for this. I had to ask him. I said, because of the rotting tooth that was in my mouth that I just got pulled, is it a possibility that there was, something going on that's made me sick? He said it's possible that bacteria was going into your bloodstream. So continue to always fight for your health, for yourself. The medical profession, they're very busy. They're tied up. They don't have time to think that deep some of the time. So I want to say something else. Oh yeah, when I was my last straw was a couple of days after my tooth was pulled. I was laying in the bed shivering. I was developing a low-grade fever, and even though I physically was so sick, I called the oral surgeon. I was begging to get in. I was begging to see somebody, just, because I'm like, I'm getting a fever. Do you guys want to wait until I'm in the ER passed out? No. So, I just want to say praise God. I'm back to, learning how to make the food I always made. Just regular cooking. All right. God bless you guys.